this is Joanne Jones. She's one of my lifelong friends. We grew up together in Eccles, didn't we?
We did. We sure did.
Yeah, and I remember when I first got into Acid House, that I thought it was really cool that you got a job at the Hacienda.
Yeah, I sure did. I worked there about 93.
Yeah.
About 1993.
Yeah.
I worked behind the bar for a couple of years, and I saw some things. Believe me, I really, really did. But yeah, so you, Paul, for me, I've been going out. I'm 55 now. I've just turned 55. I've been going out to town since I was about 15.
Yeah.
But of the people from Eccles, you're one of them that I've seen on the scene.
Yeah.
Over the years.
Yeah.
You know, we've always bumped noses, haven't we?
Yeah.
Over the time, and I've got a cracking photograph of us in a Paradise Factory reunion.
I remember that reunion.
Yeah.
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 I remember it because I was on antidepressants, and someone offered me an E, and then I was like,
I think that was me.
and I said to you, do you think I'll be all right taking this with me for tablets? And you said, yeah, you'll be all right. So then I took it as if like Dr. Jones.
Listen to me,
yeah,
the medic.
Yeah. But I remembered, I was thinking of Essex Fest before. I remember going in the silver screen in Eccles, wearing Acid House shirts, paisley shirts, but you dressed amazing.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I took my brother Andy to see 808 State.
Oh wow.
DJ in there.
Yeah.
In I think it was 1988.
Yeah.
In the silver screen.
Yeah.
And
did they play the silver screen?
They did.
Did they?
They did, yeah.
Oh, wow,
they DJ'd in there, yeah. And it was an Acid House night, and it was on a Tuesday night or something like that in 1988.
Yeah.
And I made our Andy, we went to Affleck's, and I bought him a bandana and a tie-dye t-shirt. And I made him get dressed up in Acid House, because I had a smiley t-shirt with a big Mickey Mouse badge.
Yeah.
And my hair in a bandana.
Yeah.
And everything, and I made him get dressed up to go out for it.
Wow, I didn't know it. Were 808 State fairly unknown then?
No, because they had the 808 State radio show, didn't they, on Sunset?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. That was like 88, 89, 90, 91.
Yeah.
I think it was over 4 years. And I've still got all the tapes.
Yeah.
You
still got all the tapes?
I've still got all the tapes, yeah. With all the adverts in between. Take 2 bottles into the shower. No, not me. I pay me poll tax.
So it's got the adverts on as well?
Still got, well, it's them doing like fake adverts.
Oh, right, yeah.
Just joke adverts.
God, I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
so I've still got all my tapes. And what we used to do when I used to live, when I was a student in 1988, I went to Polly in 1988, and I moved in with some friends, Carol and Sean, in Carol's house in Gorton.
Yeah.
And we used to hang around with Elton, Tim,
Elton.
Lee. We were a big gang of us. And we used to sit in my bedroom, and I had this red tape player, stereo.
Yeah.
And we used to sit in my bedroom and tape 808 State or listen back to it.
Yeah.
And we've had some good nights in my bedroom.
Yeah.
In our house. But we used to go out, we used to all go out to town, and I met some people at Polly that I was hanging around with, like Mandy Howell.
Yeah.
That I'm still friends with, but I don't really see her much anymore.
Yeah.
And Mandy and I went to the very first hot night at the Hacienda in 1988, where they had the swimming pool.
Yeah.
We went to the very first hot night for that, and I've still got...
Did you get in the swimming pool?
No, because we didn't want to ruin our fashion outfits, did we?
Yeah.
And I've still got the hot sticker.
Have you kept it?
Yeah, and I had the ice pops.
Yeah.
But I haven't got the ice pops anymore, because they were in my mum's freezer.
Do you know, like I was saying, you look cool, and but we can't remember, can we? So there's you were on a TV show, and I think was it a daytime one, or it was on Granada, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a youth TV show.
Yeah.
And I think Paulette was presenting it, and it was like a pilot series, and Elton was on it. Jason Grinrod was there, and there was a whole host of people there, and Sean and I, we were in the audience, and we had to dance.
Yeah. And
they were filming us dancing, and it was all Acid House that they were playing.
Yeah.
And flashing lights as though we were recreating a nightclub scene, and that might have been in 1988 or 89 when we did that.
So I remember that Elton had he had a holster with a beer bottle.
Yeah.
Was he dressed as a cowboy maybe?
Something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I've got hazy, foggy days.
Yeah, same.
Hazy days.
That's consistent when I'm doing these videos. No one can remember. No one can remember the dates.
No, I can't remember dates, but I can certainly remember nights out.
Yeah.
And I've got a really good memory for what people were wearing as well at the time.
What were they wearing?
On that night, I lent Sean had a load of clothes for him, like long.
Yeah.
And I lent a Terry Mugler shirt off him, and it was lime green.
Yeah.
And it was pointy at the front and pointy cuffs.
Yeah.
So he used to lend me some of his clothes to wear, so I had a Terry Mugler shirt on for that night.
Did you?
I did. I did for that TV show. But I think it was only a pilot, and it maybe only got aired once.
Yeah.
Yeah. The second time I was on the telly was after a Mardi Gras at the Gay Village. And they were filming, Granada Reports were filming the Pink Pound.
Yeah.
And we'd been out all night at Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
And we were sat outside Mantos or somewhere like that when Mantos had first opened. And they were filming about the Pink Pound. And I rang in work sick.
Yeah.
Because I was still out.
Yeah.
And
Did you ring from like on the night out?
I rang in like in the morning when we were back at someone's house, rang into work, and then we all went back out to the Gay Village.
Yeah.
And Granada Reports went past and filmed me, and I was on Granada Reports that night.
And you rang in sick?
I rang in sick.
No way. Did you get caught?
No, I didn't get caught, no.
Was that... I can't remember when the Mardi Gras started. I remember when I went to Mantos when it first opened, or like in the first few months it opened. But I didn't really start going properly there till about 93 when the Paradise Factory opened.
Yeah, no, it opened much earlier. It was like the Gay Village's reflection to Dry Bar.
Yeah.
So the Hacienda had Dry Bar, and the Gay Village had Mantos, and Mantos then had the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So when Mantos first opened, it was all industrial, really good design inside, just like Dry Bar was.
Yeah.
And it was just a great place to go because I was, like Sean's my best friend.
Yeah.
So I was knocking around with Sean a lot. Even though I was going to straight places, I was always with Sean.
Yeah.
And like we went to Flesh together. We went to the Glory Hole when that was on.
Where was the Glory Hole?
The Glory Hole was on at South King Street.
Oh, right, yeah.
Where South is.
Yeah.
So that was Paul Clancy's first night.
Yeah.
Because he was part of the Hacienda.
Yeah.
So it was their version of like an acid house night.
Yeah.
And one of the first nights I went in there, and that's when I met Keith Ridings.
Yeah, was he a dancer?
He was a dancer, but he was also... I bought a load of snowballs off him.
Oh, I remember snowballs.
Yeah, snowballs, and I took two.
Yeah.
Two? In the Glory Hole, and net two. Hit the deck on the dance floor. Sean had to pick me up. And then I bent down, and he said, "What you doing?" And I said, "I'm just zipping my boots up." I'm just trying to tie my shoelaces. He said, You've got boots on, you daft cunt." And I threw up all over Paul Clancy's feet.
Yeah. Wow.
So I was all right after that, but snowballs used to make you lose days.
Yeah.
You just lost days on those things.
That always makes me think of ketamine, that when you just... I remember, like, I don't know why people bothered, but they're popular now, isn't it? But I remember there was white diamonds, and then if you closed your eyes on them, you'd be asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had all sorts over the years, but...
Do you remember your first?
I do, yeah, but don't ask me the date when it was, but I think it was a disco biscuit.
Yeah.
Brown speckled disco biscuit.
Was you in the number one club, or...?
No, I can't remember where it was. I can't remember. I've got really hazy times.
Yeah.
But we just used to take acid first of all and whiz.
Yeah.
And you get that euphoric effect.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a good time on acid a few times, but it's perhaps my favourite night out ever. And I've spoken to you about this briefly. And I went to see Juan Atkins, and he's my hero.
I'm so jealous of that.
Belleville 3. Yeah. My heroes, but Juan Atkins is my hero.
Yeah.
And I went to see him in about, I'm going to say 1994, 95, in the Gay Village.
Yeah.
In this club that you went down the stairs to, and it was Johnny Abstract who put the night on, and it was called The Womb Presents Juan Atkins.
Yeah.
And I walked in with my boyfriend at the time and my friends, saw Keith.
Yeah.
Keith and we had some acid and some whiz. I went in the toilets and everything started moving like you're on a ship.
Yeah.
And I came out to no UFOs.
Oh, wow.
And I walked on the dance floor, put my hands up, and I didn't leave the dance floor for 6 hours. I didn't go for a wee. I didn't go for a drink.
God, I've got shivers.
And it was the most amazing night of my life.
Yeah.
Listening to Juan Atkins DJing for 6 hours in this club in the gay village. It was memorable. It was outstanding. You know, just as good as any other nights I've had anywhere else.
I can't believe that.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I went to see him again in about 2000 and I'm going to say 2012 in town, and he was DJing, and I was really disappointed.
Yeah.
And I stood over him and pulled my face, and it was just rubbish. And his tunes these days, it's not my music.
Yeah.
And other friends, and we used to go in on a weekday night, and it used to have televisions in there and phones on the tables.
What, in the number one club?
In the number one club.
Did it have phones?
And they had phones on the tables, and you used to be able to ring other tables up.
Yeah.
And they used to have a raffle. And I went to see B out of prison, that Australian women's prison drama.
Yeah.
I went to see her do a talk in the middle of the dance floor. But then it's Elton and Tim and Lee did a night. I can't remember what it was called, but they did a night in there, and that started getting popular. But I used to go in. They were playing house music at the same time as the Hacienda.
Yeah.
And in fact, you could argue that on the gay scene, they were playing it much earlier.
Yeah.
Than the straight places. Excuse me. I first heard Helium Halib in the number one.
Yeah.
First heard that in there.
God, I bet that was good.
Oh, it was amazing. But the number one really got into its element in about 1990.
Yeah.
And instead of going to the Hacienda, like, my friends used to go to the Hacienda, but we'd be in the number one.
Yeah.
We're listening to Tim Lennox. And what nights we had in there. Yeah. Oh, my word, what nights we had in there. That's where I know Tiger from, and Billy.
Yeah.
And I shared a house with a girl called Martine in Eccles.
Yeah.
And she used to celebrate.
Blonde hair?
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Yeah.
No. And one night we bought these, one day we bought these vitamin capsules, and they were green and yellow, and they were about that big.
Yeah.
And we filled him with 1.5 red and yellow caps, half a Dove, and topped it up with pink whiz.
Wow.
And we were going to sell him in the number one.
Yeah.
Well, she was going to sell him. But we tried him out once in the number one, and I was on the floor in the toilet talking about Mars bars. But with the nights we had in there, I've got a very incriminating photograph that does the round sometimes, like on Mint and stuff like that, of me with a bottle of poppies.
Yeah.
The Guy Williams post.
Yeah.
It's very incriminating.
Yeah.
But the number one, it was just revolutionary. It really, really was. We didn't miss it. You would have sold your soul not to miss the number one.
Yeah.
So my mates from the Hacienda used to go, but the number one was open till 3.
Yeah.
And all the other clubs used to shut at 2.
Oh, so, that's a point, isn't it?
Yeah. So people used to come, so my friends used to come for like the last half an hour or something of the number one.
Yeah.
From the Hacienda. It was just amazing times. Amazing times. And like the Mardi Gras in the gay village, going there, when that used to be before it was the Pride.
Yeah.
It used to be free to get in, and all the bars were open and they were playing music, and it was just amazing.
I don't know why it doesn't get talked about more, because I I was going there in 93, and it was like a mini Ibiza, wasn't it? It was like the Paradise Factory opened, then Mets, then I can't remember the names of them now, but all down that street got better and better and better, and it was like, it was all house music as well, wasn't it? So
all house music, yeah. But I used to go to Paradise. I went to the opening night of Paradise Factory, but I didn't go. I wasn't a dedicated regular, but I did used to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we've travelled around as well. We didn't just stay in Manchester. Things were spreading further afield.
Yeah.
There was Shelley's in Stoke.
Can't forget
about Shelley. It was Sasha.
Yeah. Was he?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And we used to drive all the way down to Stoke, and then stay in Shelley's, and then drive all the way back to Manchester. But on the way, we'd stop at services and have a party in the services.
Yeah.
Everyone would be dancing on the tables. It was just amazing. And then we used to go to Blackburn, to Munro's. We went to, where was it? Hacienda did a night in Blackburn. And we went to that, we went to the opening night of that, and it was Seal and Adamski.
Oh, wow.
Doing the PA there, and Seal was dressed as a nun.
Was it?
Yeah, so that was really good. And then we used to go to Shabu in Blackpool.
Yeah.
And that was Steve Williams, first of all, but then Tasha took over.
Yeah.
And that was 1990, so I used to drive over there with myself and friends, go to Shabu in Blackpool.
That was Lauren Garnier as well, when I've seen videos. And
I can't remember, no ask me that, but I could just remember Steve Williams and Tasha. Yeah.
I only say it because I was chatting to Steve Williams the other week, and then he told me about a YouTube link.
Yeah.
So I thought, fucking hell, you forget all the people on the scene that, like, Lauren Garnier went on to be massive, didn't he?
Yeah. You can't forget Quadrant Park in Liverpool as well. Now, Quadrant Park was a bit moody, but we did have good nights in there, but it was a bit moody.
Yeah.
They didn't like Manx.
Yeah.
I was in the toilet and all these girls were going, there's a load of Manx girls in here, isn't there? And I was like, oh my God, I'm not open my mouth.
Was that before Cream Quadrant Park?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, before.
Yeah. Someone was telling, I think it was Steve Williams told me that the guy who started Cream, he did it off a load of white labels records.
Yeah.
He got about 10 grand together from selling records, and then that's how he started Cream with that.
Yeah, I've never been to Cream, but it was off the back of Quadrant Park. It's the same guys.
Because you forget these like superstar DJs and like big massive things like Cream. It was just clubbers, wasn't it? And it was just people into the music. And things just went on to be massive. But it started as very underground, didn't it?
It did.
It started.
I've not been out for quite a long while, and I do miss it.
Yeah.
I do miss going out, but I've had some. You can't erase the memories of what you've had, and I've had some cracking nights out over the. I mean, most nights have been a cracking night out.
Yeah.
Went to Hacienda 30th birthday party. Which one was it? First of all, that we went to in the car parks in the Hacienda. Was that the 25th birthday party? Yeah, we went to that one.
Yeah.
The 25th birthday party.
Yeah.
And then the 30th birthday party, we went to that in London when that was on the Tobacco Wharf, Tobacco Factory, something like that. I went with Sean, not last year, year before. And they were belting nights out. But sometimes it's not just the nights in the club that are most memorable. It's where you go to after.
Yeah, I second that. Yeah.
Where you go to after and what carries on afterwards.
Yeah. The first time I ever took an E, I went to the State, and then there was a cafe next door.
Yeah.
Obviously the cafe opens all, and met some really cool people in there. And there was after parties, weren't there? And you'd go on. I love Strange Ways Club.
Oh, I love Strange Ways.
Yeah.
I went to the opening night of that.
The one at the State?
The one at the State.
Yeah.
Strange Ways, yeah. I went to the opening night of that.
Did you?
I did. Yeah, I've still got my Strange Ways membership card.
Have you?
I have.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've still got it. I can't remember what number I am, but I've still got it. With my mugshot on it.
I'm going to have to say that.
Well, one day, Paul, you come round to mine and I'll show you my montage first with all my flyers on it.
Yeah.
And I'll show you all my passes and membership cards and paraphernalia that I've kept over the years.
We can do a separate video, can't we, like Joe's paraphernalia, and we can just go through the tapes. And,
we can.
Yeah,
and I've got some really incriminating photographs as well of... so when I worked at the Hacienda, behind the bar, the Hacienda and Try had a party, a staff party, and it was fancy dress.
Oh, I've heard of it. I think I've seen photos of that.
I did put some on Facebook.
Yeah.
But I was going to submit them to the Threads book, but I didn't have anybody's permission to do it.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to bypass anybody because of what people were wearing and the sort of state people were getting in.
Yeah.
But I can certainly show them to you in private.
Yeah.
Show you all the photographs of that.
There wasn't many photos in them days. I remember going to, went out in Nottingham. we had some mates in Nottingham, and we were absolutely wasted. And then we dropped an acid back at his house after. And then I took a camera down, and I'd only took about 5 or 6 pictures in the club. And then the next day, it was like the camera had all, like, we took all the photographs back at the house.
Oh, you're brilliant.
So we couldn't wait to see them.
I bet you couldn't. And I remember you used to send them off.
Right. We look okay in them.
Yeah.
It's weird because we were out of our brains. And I mean, some are left because they got paranoid. We're all on tripping and knees, and somehow this biker came back with us to the party after,
brilliant.
and he was completely out of place. And,
good to mix it up.
Yeah, and he left a bit paranoid. But I remember, like, couldn't wait to see the photographs, and then in them days, like, you could pay extra to get them developed in a couple of hours, couldn't you?
You could.
Or like 24 hours, and then I think I paid to get them. I wanted them that day, and they just looked normal. Yeah, we just sat there normal.
Yeah, brilliant.
Looking at it.
Brilliant. Yeah, I used to take a camera out with me all the time as well. So I've got lots of photographs. But then there was a period of time, probably around about like number 1 days. I didn't used to take a camera out with me then. But I've got some. I told you I was Glenn Nash. He was my favourite DJ.
Yeah.
The guy who I was going out with was in Red Seal, and they were on Rev's Records.
Yeah.
And one of their tunes was big in America. So they got a gig in Orlando at this big aircraft hangar.
Yeah.
And all the girlfriends could come as well. So I got flown over to America with Red Seal, sponsored by the Hacienda. We all had Hacienda t-shirts, yeah. I went to Orlando like over New Year. I think it was just on the run up to New Year.
Yeah.
I had to get special time off work. Oh my God, and what a party we had over there. I've got the photographs for that. I'll show you those. Yeah.
Wow. Was that where you saw the crystal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember saying you saw the crystal. Is it the crystal method? Or
that's it. Yeah, that's right. They were on as well. I've still got the flyer for that, so I'll show you that as well.
So I think I've completely lost track of the time. So I always try and end them with like, I know what you're going to say. Give me a favourite track from the era.
I've got to talk about Juan Atkins, Off to Battle.
Yeah.
Off to Battle.
Yeah.
Because I first heard it on Stu Allen and it's been there over the years. So I've got to say Off to Battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I second that. I absolutely love that. It's one of them tracks as well that I play, and then it gets to the end and I play it again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stop recording now. So
Okay.
there we go.